Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time you're watching this. I'm DiDi and thank you for joining me for this. Well, I'm gonna call it Flosstube. I need to be sure. I believe it's gonna be 16. And why I'm saying that is because I filmed 2 Flosstubes and I haven't uploaded them. So what I'm gonna do today is we're gonna watch those 2. I'm gonna ramble a bit because it's been crazy. And then this is definitely 14, 15 and 16. So Flosstube 14, 15, 16. So it's gonna be a long one because I had some good haul and stuff. And today is June 1st, but I won't be uploading this until the weekend. But June is my birthday month and I decided that I was gonna do lots of starts for this month. All my goals I met are gonna be new starts. Long story, I'll explain it in one of the videos that's coming. So without further ado, we're gonna watch those Flosstubes first and then I'll see you afterwards. Flosstube number 14. Yes, I did the counting. I know it's 14. And it's been one hell of a 2 weeks. Work, but also my grandma, who is 91, hasn't been doing so well, so I've been with my family quite a lot. And when I say quite a lot, I mean like I've been home or not doing things for the family one evening this week. So yeah, it's been busy. I spent yesterday, Saturday, almost the entire afternoon at my grandma's place. So yeah, it's been tough. And even though you saw my last Flosstube last week, I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks since I filmed it. I even filmed the 24 hours of cross stitch I did last weekend. I'm not sure I'm gonna upload it. It was meh. I did 18 hours and maybe you'll see it, maybe you don't. Let me know down below if you want to see it, because then I'll still have the footage of it. And rabbit holes, I went down one and it's called the DiDi Herd Trial. Love it, just love it. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of that to keep my mind from other stuff. But let's get into the stitching because that's why you're here. I'm sorry, I've been mumbling all day, even though I had my coffee and my juice and my everything. It's not going. Oh well. Let's start with the stitching. So I've got 2 new starts. Let's start with the first one. It is this kit, red-billed Leotrix. It's big. It's on 14 count Ada, which makes it even bigger. Look at this. And let's fold it so you can actually see. So this is what I've stitched so far, and that is the tail and then up in the bird. So I got quite a good chunk done. This is 1 day of stitching. It's just a kit that I wanted to get out of the way, and it was spun, so I'm stitching it. Then I spun another new start. Oh wait, last Flosstube I told you I was gonna stitch the Hummingbird, I did stitch it and I did finish it. It might be somewhere beneath the pile, so we might come to that at the end. But I've got my pile placed. Oh no, I found it. So I also started and finished the Hummingbird. It's tiny. Sorry, the rest I've got out of the bags or out of the plastic. Yeah, it's tiny. It was a quick stitch, but I'm down another kit. It's kind of cute. Let's put it like that. Then I started something that I really wanted to start, which is the Weimberg Dragons. Love this pattern. And I decided I wanted to stitch it on 36 count. I'm using Drapple Brown by XOXO Design. And I started in the top corner. And this is how far I've gotten. This is also one day of stitching, but I'll be picking it up today. Yeah, and I'm pretty close to the edge, but it's gonna fit. No, I need to go like this. So it's I'm gonna need the entire piece of fabric for this. Yeah, but look at this modeling. Lovely modeling. Lovely. Love the colors. So yeah, it is something I've been wanting to stitch for a while, but I didn't spin it, and then I got it as a start finally. And no fancy stuff, I'm just keeping it with my pattern and my floss. Let's get that one in here as well to keep this one nice and tidy. Alrighty, there we go. So those were my two new starts. I'm loving the Weimberg Dragons. I love the colors. Stitching it 2/2. I don't like one thread on 36 count. I haven't stitched on 40 yet, but I might want to go to 40 so I can stitch with one thread eventually. Then I stitched quite a lot on Visit Hogsmeade. Last time I showed you, I was up in the sky here, trying to grid it out. Well, it's gridded out, and I think I'm halfway through with the first page, and I've got a goal for 2 pages this year. So this is how far I've gotten. It's color blocking, so I'll just finish a color and use it across. But we're starting to see the houses, and I think it really looks good. This is on a 32 count antique ivory by Zweigart, and I've got some marks. Luckily, hardly can see it, but there's some marks. It's luckily on the back of my piece, and it's gonna be full coverage, so that's good. And I'm keeping this in my Harry Potter Books Art Liberty sleeve. Yes, it's a project that I really enjoy, for it has lots of color blocking, and I like color blocking. More color blocking you can see in this kit I picked up. I called it the Abstract Lion. Last time you saw it, I was just down there, did the outline of the yellow, some of the nose was visible. Well, I got some good stitching in this one. We're starting to see a face, so I think I'm 1/3 done with this piece. It's just blocks of color on a 14 count Ada stitched with the kit. flosses, it's hardly any thinking, which is good. Sometimes it's just good. Then I picked up another kit, Mouse with a Dandelion. I told you it's one of my least favorite kits, but I'm getting close and it's starting to look cute because I'm doing the back stitch. So I finished all the stitching and I'm doing the back stitch, but this edge is teeny tiny back stitches going every other way. So yeah, that's really tedious because it's an 18 count Aida and the back stitches go on half stitches or quarter stitches, so it's constantly piercing the fabric, but we're getting there. So I need to finish this edge, the tail, and then go up, and I believe that's it, and I'm done. So with the back stitching it's starting to look really cute and fluffy. It was just one big blob of brown and yellows. So there we go. I think it's cute, but it's gonna take me one day of stitching. I had it for a finish, so we'll see if I manage that. Oh wait, it's not the 1st of April, it's the 1st of May. Brain fart. Oh well. Oh, I need to get the flosses in. And I've got these in sleeves by Zuster Krene, which is a Danish store we have in the Netherlands. I believe it's a tablet. It's made for a tablet. It works just fine for everything. So I've got multiple of those. And another one of that store, just a slightly different look. I've got my Poppies. Another kit on 14 count. Stitched on this yesterday. And I finished up all the blue and part of the outline of the frame. I wanted mindless stitching, and all those blocks of one color really is easy, so we're getting there. This was a start for this year, so no goals on this whip. Then I got to pick up one of my favorite projects, which is the Gastlumber Bone. It's this design. I'll have it again over here. So this is a design by Helene Leberg, and I'm stitching this on a 36 count white. Of course I just misplaced where I was already, and I've actually finished the top half of normal stitching, and as you can see down below, it really needs the back stitch to make it come alive. So I'll need to do a lot of back stitch up top, but then the first part will be done. And in the design there are a lot of snowflakes floating all around this, but I'm not going to do white stitches on white linen. No, I'm not going to do it. Really loved this design because it's so, look at it, it's so subtle and nice. Yeah, I do enjoy stitching this. Got one day in the past weeks as well. Then we're getting to my 24 hours of cross stitch stitching. I spent my Saturday stitching on Autumn Woodland Garden Labyrinth by Caroline Manning Designs. I had a goal for 2 pages done. I was hardly on the first. There we go. There we go. So this is how far I've gotten. And I literally finished up all of this. And everything on the inside of the purple line. So I got quite a good stitching in. Almost done with the first page on this. So that's good. We got some good progress for my goal there. Then I picked up the Stitchonomy Halloween 2021 sale. It's also down there for a finish. And I was working on this character. So I finished that one. I went down. I'm almost done with this one. It's cute. Nothing major, but I want to get it finished. Because that's the goal. And I think I can do it this year. And this is on a 16 count oatmeal Ada by Zweigart, so it's getting pretty soft after handling it quite a while. And then I stitched on my most hated whip, most dreaded whip. These are the Tulips, and I simply do not like the floss. But I got some good progress in. I did all of this green and I stitched on it for 4 hours. This is a 20 count Ada, and the issue with this is that this green, it's like 7 different colors of green. And you can hardly see it. And it's looking like one big jumble of stuff. But yeah, I stitched on it. I've got the top half as a goal. Not really sure if I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna try at least. And then I have some haul. So I got in my second copy of Adia the Garden Fairy by Mirabilia. So the out of print one I showed in my last Flosstube. I got it in. The other pattern that I really was hoping for turned out to be the pattern from a Lenarte kit. There are no floss numbers there, so that was a waste of money. So I felt sorry for me, so I picked up some other patterns that I really liked. I got this Little House Needlework Summer Splendor. I got this Little House Needlework, sorry for the glare of the plastic, ABC Sampler number 9. I found a Shepherd's Bush. It's also all secondhand. Scattered Hearts. It's done in overdyed, but I might just do it in DMC. And I love the patterns from Ori TM. And this was Spanish style season series. And this is the fall one, and we're having massive glare, so I'm trying to get it. Yeah, there we go. Just love the colors, love the deers. So I got that one, and I might get it kitted up. It has very bold colors, so I think just a neutral fabric would be good for this. Yeah, this one I really love. The other ones were pretty good. And that's actually all the stitching I've been doing and the haul I got. For the next weeks I'll just try to stitch when I can. With everything going on, that might be a bit hard. I'm gonna visit my grandma this afternoon, and we'll just see what happens and what's the plan. At the moment I'm just going with it. Flosstube number 15. It's been a while. I haven't even uploaded my last video. I will today. So I have no idea how long it's been in between, but I lost my grandma. For those of you who've been with me for a while, you know I had one living grandma, and she was the one person who taught me how to craft, who gave me a love for crafting. I just love to craft, and my grandma was the same. There isn't a single craft she hasn't done. It's insane. And she passed away very quickly. She had been ill and elderly for a while. She was 91 years old, and she was done with life. She couldn't craft anymore. She just sat at her table, and yeah, she lost her love of living, because my grandma loved to live. She always had fun, she always had a great time, but it was enough. Her health was deteriorating, and yeah, so after a short sick bed she passed away. It's been tough, obviously, but yeah, I have been crafting, but it does remind me of my grandma. So yeah, it's been strange, to say the least, picking up a craft and crafting, and I'm sorry guys. So yeah, I didn't craft a lot in the last couple of weeks. I did have 3 finishes, and I didn't start anything because the starting weekend was when my grandma was very ill, so I hardly stitched at all. Didn't start anything new. I just picked up projects I had lying around. So I have 3 finishes, and I went to a needleworks craft exhibit, one of the largest in my part of the world, with only wool, threads, fabrics. Several cross-stitch stores were there as well, so I really had a great time, and I got some stash, so we'll get into that at the end. But let's get into stitching. So 3 finishes. Today I finished my abstract lion. I think it looks pretty good. It's on a 14 count Ada. It's from a kit, and I really enjoyed stitching this over the last couple of days because it was just blocks of color. So fill in, fill out, not that hard to count, and I really love the colors in this one. So that was finish number 1. Oh, wait, and with it comes the card. So the card was my goal for this year. All my whips from last year have a card, and each of these cards I have prior to June in my binder is going to be a new start in June. So we'll do a little count in a little bit. Then I finished the Dandelion Mouse, and this really came to life with the back stitching. It was just one blob, and the back stitching really does make it look pretty. It's really a pretty piece. It's an 18 count Ada. I did not enjoy stitching it because it has quarter stitches on 18 count Ada. Yeah, so bended needles and such, but I love the result. And you'll actually see this mouse again because I have several projects of kits with the same mouse in it. And that's also a card that goes into the pile. And then I finished, there's a Facebook group about sales, and they do a challenge every month. This month was about forest or the woods, and I had this as a finish goal. So I finished my oval happiness tree, and I think it looks really pretty. It does. It even looks better when I look at it like this. I'm too close looking at it the other way. The only thing I'm upset about is that the person who sold me the kit marked the piece of fabric. It isn't going away with heat. It isn't going away with water. But yeah, I'll be able to make something out of this. I think it's cute. A small white frame maybe. It would look good. So I'm really happy with this result, and that also gave me another card. And in this one I got 2 skeins of the same color. I had to go through my orts to finish up the back stitching. Literally my orts. Luckily I had been stitching just with this one color for like 4 days in a row, so it was real easy to get my orts out. But the end of the back stitching is really just a couple of stitches, new part, couple of stitches. So yeah, it's a bit messy on the back because of that. Well, not that much. I think it looks pretty good for how intricate the leaves and the border are. And the border was just great to stitch because it was so repetitive. I could just zone out and do it, watch something. So I really loved it. So yeah, that was my last finish for the month. So I have 3 finishes in this month already, and I'm at a total of, I believe, 13 finishes. And since I haven't started anything major in the last couple of days, I'm just getting out my cards for the finished projects. So these are the cards I already had. These are the new ones. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 new starts in June. So that would be a new start every 3 days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick my 10 new starts and just work on them 3 days. Yeah, and most likely the last start is gonna go with me on vacation. So yes, I'm going on a holiday. holiday, yay. So let's see if I'm correct in this. Yeah, so I had 3 finishes in April, 3 in May. And I'm sorry about that. My software is doing something. So I'm really hoping that it isn't getting messed up. Oh well. So all the cards are back in the place where they need to be. I'll have 10 starts. I need to start figuring those out. I did have another whip I worked on during this month. I worked on the Weimberg Dragons. I'm sorry, it's still in the plastic, so you'll get a little glare. There we go. I'm stitching this on a, I believe, 36 count Drapple Brown. Let me check. Yes, Drapple Brown 36 count. And the last time you saw it, I was working in this part, so I finished the bee and I'm down there. Oh, actually that left a thread. That's not something I usually do. But, oh, love the fabric and the way these dark colors look on it. Yeah, it's actually, it looks darker, but it's a blue, and this is very dark green, which is looking kinda black, but it isn't. It isn't, trust me, it isn't. So I'm really enjoying stitching this. So I might pick it up today. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm gonna do today. Alrighty. And then for haul. Look at my bag, guys. This is just a tote bag. It is made by a charity organization in Breda, the city that I live in, and they made tote bags out of antique cross stitch. They made, they used, and this is actually the curtains, so old curtains. So it's all reused, and this is the bag I used for my shopping trip. And I just went a little over budget, teeny tiny bit, but in my defense I had a lot of specialty threads that I wanted to get. Let's get everything out, and just to show you, so my mom isn't really into cross stitch. She went with me, and I took my booklet and I used the book to write down threads I need, things I need for projects. So this was my list for specialty threads. They're around €3 a piece. So I didn't get one. I believe the only one they didn't have was hazelnut. I think that's the only one. So that amounts to all these overdyed threads. And now I can put them with the corresponding projects. So that's good. I'll get to store those. Then I picked up some small pieces. They're 23 by 25 centimeters of 32 count Zweigart linen. So this is a neutral colorway, and these are the same size, but just pinks, blues, greens, and a yellow. And I think I've got a permin in here because it's a lot stiffer than the rest. strange how you can instantly feel it's a different kind of linen. So I picked up these smaller pieces for smaller projects like that. And then where we're at, I met the lovely people from a cross stitch store in the Netherlands, and she designs patterns. And I came to the stand and I didn't know she designed patterns. I knew she had her own overdyed threads. It's a Paradise threads, and I think you can only buy them at her store. And I'd looked at them because they're really pretty, but I never stitched with them. They're kind of pricey. So I picked up this little kit, just a small, it's Small Paradise, it's the pattern's name, and this is the thread. So it goes from very, yeah, there we go. You can see all kinds of pinks and oranges in there. And it's one stranded thread. And she makes them in different thickness. So you actually pick the thread you need to correspond with your fabric count. So she'll tell you you'll need, she'll have a list of 7 or 8 thicknesses, and she'll say buy this for either making lace, or buy this for 32 count, 36 count. She gives you a range. So I've got some piece of fabric in here as well. So this is definitely going to be one of my starts. So I really wanted to get one of her threads. That was the idea, and just stuck with them. When I came to their stand, there were so many gorgeous models, and my mom isn't real big into cross stitch, and she was just open mouthed, just staring. And all I was thinking was, whose designs are those? Who designed those? Because I hadn't seen them before. They looked kind of familiar, but not totally. You know how it goes. You're like, did I see this? Did I see something like it? I did see something like it. I think it reminds me a bit of the Historische Stickmuster in a way. But it is by Joke Trebbe de Nijs, and this is one of the patterns I got. So it's a band sampler, and she designs those in her threads. So she'll give you the pattern, you can swap everything out. I saw it in this color, and she gives you the threads she used. She dyed and made this pattern with, and it's a biggie because on 32 counts it is 45 by 50 centimeters. So it's a big pattern. It is all in Dutch. All right, it's fine by me, but I would see it be difficult for other people. I also got this pattern. It is the Bee band sampler, but then in Dutch, and she has it in 2 colorways. So the basic one in red, and on the back there is the one I saw in real life in blues, greens and grays, and I think I love this one better. And it is done on banding. And I love it. It's a lovely pattern. It is gonna be 52 centimeters long. So also a biggie. And then I saw this one, and in here it looks kind of black. She did it in colors. These were these birds. They're all kind of birds without getting the glare. There we go. So all these birds were done in this intense dark purple. And she had, of this series, she had 4 in total, so season wise. This is the spring version. And I said, of those 4, this one I love the most. So I picked it up. And I can't really give you the design area because I'll have to rethink it, but it's gonna be around 44 by 44. So love this. Haven't kitted it up yet because I wanted to see if I was gonna use her threads for this, or if I was gonna do it in DMC or some other kind of overdyed. I wasn't sure yet because I hadn't stitched with her threads yet, and before buying a whole bunch of threads I wanted to stitch with those. So I got those patterns. Of course I got some freebies. So this is one of her freebies from Joke Trebbe. This is a freebie by Zoet Idee. I got a thread keep as well. And then I got one more pattern, and I already went over budget. And then I saw someone selling this, and I actually saw the model of this, and it's Nimue, and it's the Kingfisher. We would call it ice bird, so Dutch word for it is ijsvogel, but Kingfisher, yeah. And I just love this, and it has an insane amount of colors in it, but it's just so lovely. And I just wanted to see, I had seen several of the designs by this company before, and I love this style. I love fairies. She has one with a cat. She has multiple on other birds, on mushrooms, and so I really wanted this one just to remember the designer, because you see so many things and then you don't know what you're gonna do with it, or forget that you saw it. So yeah, that's what's happening. Let's spin what I'm gonna stitch on today, because now I'm curious. I do need to adjust my wheel because there's something on it I don't. Have anymore. So my wheel is very fast, slow, getting smaller and smaller. So let's spin and see what we'll be doing. Stitch what you want. Great. So I'll need to figure out what I'll be stitching today. I won't be starting anything new before June, because otherwise I'm just gonna blow up my whip count through the roof. Are you bored yet? I hope not. I hope not. So, like I explained in the previous episode, section, whatever you want to call it, I had 10 spots to fill. I did stitch some working up to that moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what I worked on, my progress on those lovely projects, and then we'll see. So I worked on the red-billed Leotrix. It is, sorry for the glare, this kit. And the last time you saw it, I just finished a teeny tiny bit, so I'm gonna hold it up. So I just finished this, some part of the yellow and some part of the branch, and I did all of that and the green up there. So I'm working on the bird at the moment. It is getting along. It's enjoyable stitching this. It is a huge piece of fabric. It's 40 by 50. I have a loose hanging thread, which is so not me, but oh well. So that one is going to go away for at least this month. Or I need to super speedy some of my projects. So let's get it into that bag there. Then I worked on my Visit Hogsmeade by Country Sticks Magic. I'm doing this on a 32 count antique ivory. I wanted to pick this up and I simply couldn't find my floss for it. Turns out I have a little stitchy box, all my floss is in there. Yeah, great. So I was like, I had literally searched all through my living room and then figured out, oh. But I made some great progress because I'm working on the first page. What I did is I finished all the snow over there. I finished up filling in this house. I worked up there. So there's one house over there, and then there's some fill in snowflakes, windows, that stuff. But yeah, so if I get this corner down, the first page is officially done. So I'm loving it. The moment the snow came in, it really started to come alive. Before it was like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at something? But yeah, it is gorgeous. So the bottom part is, I think, 2/3 of this length, so it's going to go down there, and this is halfway. So I still have some progress to do, or some progress to make. But I'm loving it. It's living in my Books Art Liberty sleeve. Harry Potter. And this is one of the projects I love picking up. It's easy to stitch. So there it goes. And then I believe I've got a finish. Is this the finish? No, it's not the finish. I'll show you my finish. I worked on Poppies. So another kit. I believe I worked on it for one day. So I basically did all the green. I'm just working on the greens. Yeah, I did the outline. So the entire outline is done. I'm just filling in greens. There's an entire flower there that I haven't stitched, but I'm color completing, so it's pretty. It's an easy kit. But for this one also goes, we're not doing it. And then my new starts. So what I did is that I spun. I've got wheels, random pickers wheels on my phone, and I decided that I was gonna go for the 10 starts that I have. So I spun first either kit or kitted up pattern. I've got lots of kits, I want to get them done. And kitted up pattern are the normal designers. Well, actually I didn't spin so many well-known designers, however. And so it happens to be that I need to do, where's my notebook? Where's my notebook? I've got notes somewhere. There, I've got those. I've got 4 kits on here, and they're all kits that came with the Cross Stitcher magazine, and 6 patterns. So we'll get through that. I actually spun this one. So this is the design and thread, so Paradise thread, that I picked up at the Handwerkbeurs. I showed you it. So I'm gonna work with this and see how it works up. It's just a teeny tiny design, and I'm gonna do it in this gorgeous reds and pinks, orange, pink, loveliness. So I'm gonna work on this today, actually. Then in one of my older cross stitch magazines, I've got the deer. So that might be done in just 2 days. I've got the entire kit ready to go. So that's start number 2, and since June has 30 days and I've got 10 starts, 3 days on each project, and we'll see how far we'll get. Then I'm gonna work on my hearts by Rovaris. Don't know where I got it, but I'm gonna stitch it in DMC 115. So this is this variegated red, just DMC. And I'm gonna stitch it on cheese linen, so it's quite stiff. This is 14 threads on a centimeter, so I believe it's 32, 35 count. I believe it's 35 or even 40. It's quite small. It's a piece I picked up second hand. It's actually pretty large. It's 70 by 50. So I won't be needing all of that. It is a very long design. It's 228 by 37 stitches. But I think this has a tiny bit of a yellow tint to it. So I think the yellow and the black red will really make it pop. So that goes in there. And I actually have them in order of when I'm gonna start them. Oh, I love it when everything fits in the pattern. Then I'm gonna start by Pineberry Lane, Mary Edmondson. And this is how I kit my projects. It's in DMC, and I'm gonna stitch it on a 36 count flex by Zweigart. Yeah, this is gonna be one of the first with just letters. Never done it before, but it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. Then I'm gonna work on another kit. It is Tinsel Tree, and it's actually a brooch. So I'm gonna work on that, and the design is so tiny, guys. Flash design. So yeah, it's 30 by 35. I don't know how this magazine gets to their stitch time, because it says I'm gonna stitch 6 hours on this. When I see this, it's not gonna be 6. It does have some beading, but that will be fine. And there's also a little bell in there. Yeah, so that's the next one. And then I'm gonna start one I've been wanting to start for a long time. Coffee Quaker, heartstring samplery. Let's get it out. So, heartstring samplery, the Coffee Quaker. First I drink the coffee, then I do the things. That is so me. It's so me that in my previous work I just switched locations today. My boss gave me as a goodbye gift a mug, a coffee mug. So, and I'm gonna stitch this in all the called for overdyes, flosses, and I'm gonna stitch it on a, need to find a 40 count vintage country mocha. I haven't really stitched on 40 count, so it's gonna be my first time stitching on 40 count. And it has this very nice muddled effect, and it's printed, so the other side is just plain. And I think it's really gonna look good, and I'm really gonna need to stitch that with just one thread. I think that's why I went for 40 count, because I didn't want to use too much thread. No idea why. Then I'm gonna do a Jardin Privé, Compagnie du Mouton. My French isn't all that good, but I think it means company of sheep. So it's this little one. And I'm gonna stitch it on a 32 count platinum, just basic platinum by Zweigart, and then it's gonna be 13 by 23 centimeters, and oh, that's good. So I can actually do it because it's a piece of 30 by 70, so I can go not use, I'm really gonna be able to fit it nicely on there. I just can't explain. You know, when you start a new job, you've got all those introductory talks. Oh my, I'm gonna be there for 3 months. I actually have 2 days of introductory talks. No. And I believe this actually called for, oh, it's a Belfast Mocha by Zweigart, but I'm using platinum. It's gonna be fine. The white will pop more than enough on that. And then we're gonna finish out the month with 2 kits. And the issue is that I'm gonna leave for my holiday on the 26th of June. And there are 2 kits. I'm definitely gonna bring them, but it's not gonna take me that long to finish those, so I'll need to bring something else. Might pick something out of that pile as well, just to get it finished. So the first one is the Angel. There we go. And they say 5 hours for this. So this, which is that pattern, is gonna take 5 hours, and you know the teeny tiny brooch is gonna take 6. Seriously, I do not know why. No idea. And I'm just gonna stitch it. I don't think I'm gonna do the wings. It's, nah, Nah, not my style. And then I'm gonna be doing another Christmas themed kit, which is Salute the Season, which is this nutcracker idea. So I'm gonna stitch this one last. Lots of color blocking, so that would be great. So yeah, did I have any haul in the last period? Yes, I did. Can't show you because due to shipping and stuff, I got notice that the store that I usually buy my special flosses from had a sale. Well, we're gonna raise their prices, and they were gonna go up quite a bit, but still a specific period you could get them at the old prices if they were in stock. So I ordered quite a lot. So I've got more kitted up with lovely threads. So yeah, I believe that's it. I'm gonna go and get some dinner and then start stitching. I'm on jury watch for the Deb V. Hurt trial, and I'll hope to check in like 2 weeks. Don't hold me to it because it's been so crazy. I have no idea. But I'll see you then. Houdoe!